Tim Walz is much wealthier than his net worth. Yeah, this guy. Oh, I cannot stand. I get a visceral reaction to that clown. What a piece of junk. Oh man, he's such a scumbag. Anyone who misrepresents his military career is a scumbag. The guy is not a command sergeant major. He did not serve in Afghanistan. He did not go to war. He did not carry a rifle and weapons or anything like that. And he held himself out for many, many years as that guy. It's just, what a scumbag, dude. Oh, I don't care if it's Republican. I don't care who. If you are misrepresenting your freaking your career as a military man, you suck, dude. You are. Look at this guy. Oh, just look at him. Oh, then when he had I literally despise that because I served 4 years in the infantry. I got in, got out, got my freaking GI Bill. That's it. Didn't do anything. I just nothing fancy. Your old buddy Josh. You know what I'm saying? But this guy pretended like he was what he's not, just to get street cred. It's horrible. Just scumbag. Did you see the way he yanked on his son too when he was getting ready to give a speech at the DNC the other day? I'm not stupid. I'm not gonna watch all these things. I don't care. But they showed a video of that. We just yanked his son. It's like, dude, his son's got like autism or something like that. What a scumbag. All right, so let's check this out. The 60-year-old vice president's pensions make him a throwback to a bygone era of retirement savings. All right. See. He has a good retirement fund. It's not luxurious, but it's designed for someone who's been a public servant for his whole life. He's been serving the public. He's just serving the public. Yeah, right. That's what John McCain used to say. It's good to be a public servant. I said, how do you guys get so rich as being a public servant? How are the Obamas worth I think I just read someplace Obama's worth $70 million by being a public servant. Let's see. Pensions like the ones Walz accumulated as a teacher, soldier, and elected official aren't an option for most Americans. Yeah, they're not. However, 60% of families headed by someone born in the 1930s had pensions, according to Boston College. Interesting. So I went to Boston College's website because I've never heard that. It says share of households with a pension. I click on this right here. I would love to see the date on this because I've done a lot of studying on this, a lot of research, looking at congressional testimony around when they came to pass Social Security, looking at congressional testimony when they were passing ERISA. I've never heard anywhere near this. In fact, I've heard the exact opposite. And in fact, even if it were true, just because you're covered by a pension doesn't mean you have one. Again, as I talked to a million times, a lot of the pensions back in the old days, you had to work 30 years in some crappy old job, weren't making much money, unlike it is today, where you can make a lot of money, still get a fat pension, for sure. But the old, in terms of if you're like a school administrator or something like that, you know what I'm saying? But these teachers aren't making huge pensions. I mean, New Jersey, California, some teachers in Texas and Georgia, they're not getting rich on the pensions. I'll tell you that right now. It's just not happening. Anyway, I would love to see the evidence that Boston College is using here. So I typed in this, and I don't see just spouses coordinate their investment decisions in order to share risk, retirement prospects for millennials. I don't see anything that says so much here. I'll look at this article right here: home ownership, Social Security, social insurance, and old age security in the United States and Europe. But I don't see much in terms of having a pension. The pensions, I don't see this article. I love to see it because I've done a lot of research. And we got taxes and Social Security, divorce very bad for retirement, the stupid National Retirement Risk Index. It's like, where is the data? There was retirement, that was a dumb article. We got these smiling guys. Pension freezes, terminations, conversions. I'll check that out. The Oxford Handbook of Pensions and Investment Income. I don't think that's going to, state and local pensions. I'll look at all these, but I've never heard, ever, anyone say 70% of the workforce of the households had pensions who were born in the 1930s. I've never heard that. And the reason we know that is because when we're talking about ERISA, they didn't say that. And this is so if you were born in 1934, you had been 30 years later, it's 1964, all right? And ERISA was started to be looked at. It passed in 1974, but they're really starting to look at the pension crisis in the late 60s and early 70s because Studebaker, I can't remember, right? Some big companies, I forgot what they were off the top of my head. And there was nothing at all in the congressional research that said anything like this at all. That 70% of households of people who were born in 1934 had pensions. And then they'll even go on here, which is, so I want to see it. I mean, if they got the data, I'd love to see it, but they'll see this article, this chart right here. They'll even say right here, someone born in 1931, someone born in 60% of people born in 1942 had pensions. So that'd be 1972, exactly when ERISA's come around. Never heard that, never saw it, didn't say it in the ERISA stuff from the congressional record. It's the Senate hearings and whatnot. So Boston College, I think you're, I think you got an agenda. I think you got an agenda, and it's not one that's for freedom for American workers, that's for sure. All right, so let's take a look here. The Walzes spend much of their career in public sector. As Mrs. Walz, she loved to smell the fires and the burnings of tires during the Black Lives Matter riots. She loved to smell that. But yet the same people Tim Walz was telling the police to go shoot people with rubber pellets who are outside during COVID. Go shoot them with rubber pellets if they're outside during COVID. But Miss Walz said, I'm going to open up the window so I can smell the burning tires of Black Lives Matter riots. These people are scumbags, dude. Let's see. The couple has 2 Minnesota pensions. All right, so whose values they get about 81,000 combined in pensions. That's a lot of money. I'm not going to lie to you, but hey, that's not going to set the world on fire. Let's see. The average annual pension for a retired Minnesota teacher is about 27,000. How's he getting 65,000? That's kind of weird. The couple lists 2 Minnesota teachers' pensions, one each. So he's getting 65,000. It looks like kind of weird, and yet the average is only 27,000. Walz and his wife list 2 other retirement accounts. The Minnesota, okay, right here, but we'll keep going. Right here, this is what's funny. When Walz turns 62, he's entitled to an annual pension of $35,000 a year for his 12 years in the House of Representatives, a payout that gets adjusted for inflation. The payment is slightly lower for a benefit that continues over both. So he'll get nearly $3,000 a month for his 12 years as a congressional representative. That's crazy, dude. That's crazy. Walz could have taken a pension early, starting at 56, but that seems unlikely since he didn't report any pension income. All right, so he's going to get the equivalent of, let's see, we got between him and his wife, he's going to get a pension of, let's say, $81,000 plus another $35,000 for his time in the House of Representatives. And military pension is probably not going to be huge. Let's take a look. Because he retired National Guard, he got kicked in at 60. The 10% of the current pay. Let's see, what's his pay? Another 8,200 he'll get from a military, but he's he gets Stryker and all that stuff. But still, so he'll get about 100 and roughly 120,000 a year from pensions. Look, that's a lot of money, and that's certainly better than 110,000. But the facts are he did serve his time. I mean, as much as I can't stand the guy. I mean, he did what he was supposed to do to get those pensions. So he is entitled to them. I don't like the congressional ones. I think that's freaking stupid. 12 years, you get 35,000. But with that said, he did serve as a teacher. He did serve in the National Guard. No one's denying that. He did serve, I mean, it sounds like honorably, frankly, in terms of getting an honorable discharge. It's not very hard to get an honorable discharge. No one's denying that. But the idea that Walz is your typical middle-class guy, it's just so free. It's like middle-class Joe Biden. I mean, come on, dude. These guys the media just smokes these guys. It's crazy. Anyway, so there you go. So there's old Tim Walz. And I said right here, about 60% of families headed by someone born in the 1930s had pensions according to Boston College. I said, I'd love to see the link to the research on this, especially given the congressional records state from back in the days when ERISA was being debated or the actual record when Social Security was being discussed. Boston College is going to say that nearly 70% of households who were born in 1924 had a pension. I'd love to see evidence for that. And someone's replying to me. Absolutely, right on. He pulled let's see here. Why did he pull $135,000 all at once for college expenses? Exactly. I'm going to say 135. I'm going to type in here. I guess I'm not. 1 second. 135 as a lump sum distribution. As a lump sum distribution is heavily taxed too. That was not a good move. Not a good move on his part. So not only is he stolen valor, he's not a smart guy. Either. All right, there you go. That's my trolling of the day. All right, anyway, there you go. So your boy Tim Walz, don't vote for that guy, dude. Don't. I'm not saying you got to vote for Trump, but just don't vote for Tim Walz. And come on, heels up. Don't vote for heels up either. All right, God bless. Love your thoughts.